Personally, if you ask me, I think I fell short on, I underestimated the need for training people. And as we scaled up very fast, while business opportunity was there, but I didn't have enough trained manpower. I had manpower, but not enough trained manpower, both in-house as well as probably even franchisee also. I think that area probably I fell short.
I don't know. I mean, 5 years back, maybe the same thing. Because I think I had the same passion, romance that time. Still have the same now. Maybe I was very slow that time because there was no system. But I think, why yesterday? Let's only think today, today and today. Not even tomorrow. I'm a person of today only. What I did yesterday was a mistake or it was okay. Let's take it.
Yeah, my question is to Mr. Chandrasekhar. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The point is the vision which is definitely required for the education industry is to have the real values imbibed in yourself, and then you are really able to just transmit that education, that moral values, that strength, inner strength to the students, which is through a medium that is through school, colleges. So in case, if you are having this opportunity, you are having few people who really fit into that scenario, but they do not have that sufficient financial viability. So is there any provision or is there any concept through which you can slowly develop the group as well as that person, and for a long-term association for JSI group?
Yeah, thank you for the question. In fact, we have already started doing this. We have got close to 48 companies which have been incubated for our own students, who are collectively making a turnover of close to 75 crores per annum, where they are into every type of sector. And the best thing is we are incubating them, giving them 3 years time where they operate out of our campuses, so that the administrative cost for them is absolutely zero. But then we help them go on, find customers, and then strengthen themselves. We give them every benefit, HR services, legal services, or the operational support, so that they don't have to bother about the basic things, but then they focus on their vision and then they get going. But we also have a closing clause. By 5 years time, they should become self-sufficient and they should start flying on their own, because that's where they get vacated and then the new blood comes in. So this system is there. We have a seed capital, we fund our students, we evaluate the ideas, and then we encourage them to take it to the next level.
I have a question for Mr. Gudgudia. I would like to understand, how do you handle the last mile part of your business, because it plays a very important role when you're delivering happiness. So is it the operational level and the way you have scaled up with franchisees and all? So how it's like the operational issues you're handling, and what kind of learning has been involved in that process?
You mean to ask about the operational problems?
Specifically the last mile point, delivering point.
Delivering part.
Right.
What do you want to know? I'm not getting you.
Yeah, my question is, so in a delivering happiness or the Flowers Way business which we've been doing, so if I'm going out and delivering the flowers, so is it being delivered to the right person or not, or the operational level? How have you been able to take it? Because if it's been delivered to the wrong person or not the right flowers, that's been one of the challenges probably in the industry.
Yeah, I guess that's there, but I don't think that's a very serious problem. Whenever flowers are delivered to a place, we also have the phone numbers to cross-check the address. We can also kind of cross-check the timings. In case somebody is working and is been to office or not in the house, then we deliver it at the time when they are to the house, back from the office. So I guess that's not a very significant problem.
Last question, we'll keep it very brief. Please keep it pointed, sir. That'll be the last question.
My question is to Dr. Om. So how do you see the opportunity of franchisee in tier 3, tier 4 cities, in healthcare sector specifically?
Yeah, as I mentioned, where there is a life, there is a need for health. So, and India is a huge population. So, obviously, in that order, it will start with first metros and then it will go down slowly. But tier 2, tier 3 towns, there's a huge opportunity there.
That, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our esteemed panelists with a huge round of applause. And we would also like to felicitate them with small tokens of our appreciation. I'd like to call on stage Ms. Ritu Maurya, Editor-in-Chief, Franchise India Media, to kindly present mementos to the esteemed dignitaries on the day, starting with Mr. C.K. Kumaravel, Founder and CEO Naturals. This is by order of the names mentioned in the agenda, which is what I'm going with. Mr. Vikas Gudgutia, Founder and MD, Funds and Petals Private Limited. Mr. Chandrasekhar DP, COO, the JGI Group. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for all our esteemed panelists. Thank you so much for contribution of applause. Thank you. Dr. Om Manchanda, Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Lal PathLabs. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Mahesh Gupta, Chairman and Managing Director, Kent RO. And a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for him as well. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Sanjoy Roy, VP, DP Sales International, DTDC. Thank you very much for the applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Pushpa Bector, Senior Vice President, DLF Malls, India. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Javed Habib. A huge round of applause for all our esteemed panelists once again. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much to the dignitaries.